What if you could pay your student loans with a credit card, earn rewards, buy yourself time, and maybe even get a little financial breathing room? Sounds like a smart hack, right? But here's the real question. Can you actually use Plastiq to do that? And more importantly, should you? Let's break it down in a way that actually makes sense for your wallet. First, what exactly is Plastiq? It's a payment platform that lets you use a credit card to pay bills that normally don't accept cards. Things like rent, taxes, and yes, in some cases, student loans. Instead of paying directly with your bank account, Plastiq charges your card, then sends the payment to your loan servicer. So technically, yes, you can use Plastiq to pay student loans. But here's where things get interesting. Not all student loan services accept payments through third-party services like Plastiq. Some allow it without issues, while others may reject or flag those payments. So step one is always to confirm whether your specific loan provider allows it. If they don't, the whole strategy stops right there. Now, assuming your servicer does accept it, let's talk about the real trade-off, because there's always one. Plastiq charges a fee. Typically, it's around 2.9% per transaction. That means if you're paying $1,000 towards your student loan, you're adding about $29 in fees. So the real question becomes, is it worth it? And the answer depends entirely on your situation. If you're using a rewards credit card that gives you cashback, points, or travel miles, you might offset some of that fee. For example, if your card gives 2% cashback, you're still paying about 0.9% extra after rewards. Not terrible, but not free either. However, there are scenarios where this starts to make more sense. Let's say you're trying to hit a minimum spending requirement for a big sign-up bonus on a new credit card. Those bonuses can be worth hundreds of dollars, sometimes even $1,000 in travel value. In that case, using Plastiq to pay your student loan could help you unlock that reward faster, and the fee might be a small price to pay. Another scenario, cash flow management. Maybe you're in a tight spot this month and using a credit card gives you extra time before the bill is due. Plastiq can act as a short-term bridge, helping you avoid missing a loan payment. But, and this is critical, you need a plan to pay off that credit card balance quickly. Otherwise, you're just trading one form of debt for another, usually at a higher interest rate. And that's where most people get it wrong. Student loans often have relatively lower interest rates compared to credit cards. If you carry a balance on your credit card after using Plastiq, the interest you'll pay can easily wipe out any rewards or benefits and then some. So if you're thinking of using Plastiq, discipline is everything. Now, let's talk about the risks you shouldn't ignore. First, processing time. Plastiq payments aren't instant. It can take several days for the payment to reach your loan servicer. So if you're close to a due date, you could end up with a late payment if you don't plan ahead. Second, eligibility changes. Platforms like Plastiq sometimes update their policies, and what works today might not work tomorrow. Always double-check before relying on it for something as important as your student loan. Third, psychological spending traps. When you start using credit cards to pay off debt, it can feel like you're making progress, but you're actually just shifting the balance around. Without a clear payoff strategy, it's easy to fall into a deeper cycle of debt. So, what's the smart takeaway here? Using Plastiq to pay student loans is not a magic trick. It's a tool, and like any tool, it can either help you or hurt you depending on how you use it. If you're strategic, using it to earn a valuable sign-up bonus, managing cash flow responsibly, and paying off your card in full, it can make sense in specific situations. But if you're using it just to delay payments without a plan, or you're already carrying credit card debt, it's probably not the move you want to make. At the end of the day, the goal isn't just to pay your student loans, it's to get out of debt smarter, faster, and with fewer financial regrets along the way. With that said, thanks for watching, and until next time.